Right now, somewhere on the news, someone is talking about the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices, sanctions, warships, tensions. 20% of the world's entire oil supply moves through that one narrow strip of water every single day. And world powers treat it like the most dangerous square on the map. But here's what nobody tells you. This isn't a modern story. This is a 500-year-old story that never ended. The year is 1507. There is a city sitting on a small sun-scorched island at the exact point where the Persian Gulf opens into the Arabian Sea. No rivers, no forests, barely any fresh water. The heat is described by travelers as genuinely unlivable, like standing inside an oven. And yet, this city was one of the wealthiest places on the entire planet. Because Hormuz didn't need resources. It had something more powerful than resources. It had position. Every ship moving between India, Persia, Arabia, and the Mediterranean had to pass this island. Every single one. Spices, silk, horses, pearls, porcelain, all of it funneled through this one narrow gate. Medieval travelers wrote that the air itself smelled of cardamom and saffron from miles offshore. The soil was reportedly stained with centuries of spilled pepper and dye. The Kingdom of Hormuz wasn't an empire built on armies. It was something far smarter, a neutral ground, a place where Persian silk met Indian spice and Arabian pearls met Chinese porcelain. It survived not through military dominance, but through pure political intelligence, playing Persia, the Ottomans, and Arab princes against each other for generations. Hormuz knew exactly what it had, until the day a man named Afonso de Albuquerque arrived and decided it belonged to Portugal. Albuquerque wasn't a typical conqueror. Typical conquerors want land. Typical conquerors want glory. Albuquerque wanted the roads. What he had, that Hormuz had never faced before, was ship-mounted heavy artillery, not siege cannons stuck behind walls, mobile firepower from the water. The Hormuzi court was sophisticated. The Hormuzi merchants were experienced negotiators, but sophisticated doesn't stop cannonballs. Now flip the lens, because this story deserves both sides. Inside Hormuz, the court fractured immediately. The king was young, politically fragile. Real power sat with his vizier, a man who understood they weren't dealing with just another regional rival. Some nobles demanded resistance. Others understood the brutal mathematics. This was a navy playing by completely different rules, rules nobody in the Gulf had seen before. The result was submission. But here's what most people miss. Albuquerque didn't fully win in 1507. His own captains mutinied against him. Internal rebellion inside the Portuguese ranks, combined with supply failures, forced a withdrawal. Hormuz breathed again. For a moment, it looked like survival was possible. It was borrowed time. Portugal held it for over 100 years. Then, in 1622, Persia's Shah Abbas struck back, using English East India Company warships as allies. The Portuguese garrison held for months. Then starvation ended what cannons couldn't. The Portuguese era in the Gulf collapsed almost overnight. In 1515, Albuquerque returned. This time, no divided council, no illusion. Hormuz fell completely. The king kept his throne as decoration, a puppet dressed in gold, while Portuguese governors sat beside him and Portuguese cannons controlled his harbor. Albuquerque built a fortress on the island's edge, the fort of Our Lady of the Conception. It still stands today, broken and wind-worn. You can visit it. You can put your hand on walls built by a man who wanted to own the world's throat. Hormuz didn't fall because it was weak. It fell because the world changed, and the change came by sea. Every empire that tried to lock this strait eventually lost it. But while they held it, they held the world. That's still true today. Different flags, same strait, same chokehold. Some positions on the map never stop mattering.